Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial we will learn how to make this trendy skirt right on your screen. If this sounds like what you're interested in, keep on watching. So to make this skirt, I have my fabric. This is a cotton fabric, right? And I have just 2.5 yards of fabric, but I will encourage you have about 3 yards if you want to achieve a longer length. So I measured out 22 inches out of the 2.5 yards of fabric. I measured out 22 inches and I will cut it out and keep aside. So I'm going to fold the remaining fabric into two. Okay, the wideness, I'm going to fold it into two. After folding into two, I will go ahead to fold into four, just the way you are seeing me doing, like this. So after my fabric is folded into four, can you see? So you're going to arrange it properly. Make sure that all sides are equal. All right, make sure that all the sides are equal. And this is what I have. So I'm going to divide my hip measurement. You're going to divide your hip measurement by 6.28. It is a standard measurement of how to get the waist circumference of a 360 circle flare. So when I did mine, I got about 6.6 something, so I approximated it to 6.7, and I'm going to mark it out. So from the top, I'm going to mark 6.7 inches. I will mark it all around as you can see me doing. So make sure that you maintain your tape on the upper part and then you mark it all around. After marking it, I'll go ahead to connect it this way. So we have successfully created the waistline. You can go ahead to cross-check it. So when I cross-checked mine, I got 11 inches. So guys, the next thing I will do is to mark out the longest part of the flare, which is the handkerchief part. That is this part that is dropping down. All right, so I'll come to the longest part of the folded fabric, which is this angle. I will mark out how long I want that part to be. I marked out 50 inches there. Then I'll come to this other side. I have 22 inches there. I will use everything. Okay, so I will come to the other side, this other side. Whatsoever you use here, you're going to use it on this other side too. So I will mark out the 22 inches here. Okay, I just hope you understand. The longest part 50 inches. All right, then the two sides 22 inches. So I'll go ahead to connect the 22 inches now to the 50 inches this way. All right, I will also come to the other side, also connect it to that 50 inches. All right, so you have free to mark out any length you want. Okay, any length you want, you are free to mark out. Okay, this is my preference. All right, so I will go ahead now to cut it out. So guys, at this point, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly do that. It is absolutely free. It helps my channel to grow. Thank you, and let's get back into the tutorial. So guys, after cutting it out, you will have it looking this way. Can you see? You will have it looking this way. So I will go ahead now to notch the two sides, just to indicate that they are the both sides. Okay, I will notch here. I will also notch the other side. I will also put it together and notch the center front and the center back. I will keep it aside. All right, so remember the 22 inches fabric I cut out earlier. I will also go ahead to cut it into two again. All right, I will divide it into two. So after cutting it into two, this is what I have. So I'll fold it into two and indicate the midpoint by giving it a notch. We'll also repeat the same thing on the other pieces. I'll put it together and indicate the midpoint. So I'm going to align the notches, the one on the center of the skirt and the one on the fabric. Then I'm going to sew from the center to the notch I gave to the side of the skirt. All right, so you're going to sew from the center now to the side and stop. You're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So match the notches. Okay, the notch on the fabric and the notch on the skirt. Then you're going to sew from that center to the side. So after sewing, this is what I have. Can you see? So I'm going to go ahead now to finish up the side, and to do that, I'm going to bring these two together like this. So you're going to cut in about 1/2 inch. Just cut in about 1/2 inch. Also repeat the same thing here. Put the two pieces together like this on the side. Okay, where you stop the stitch, you're going to cut in 1/2 inch. After cutting in the 1/2 inch, you're going to bring your fabric right side facing right side. You can notice that with the cutting, it will be more easier for you to sew. So you can see, just bring the fabric right side facing right side and sew. So after sewing it, you will also go ahead to finish up all the whole edges by hemming it. All right, so after I was done doing all that, this is what I have. See how pretty it looks? Can you see? So I have gone ahead to finish up all the whole edges by hemming them all, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing I will do is to measure around my waistline in order to cut out my waistband. After measuring it, whatsoever I get around the waistline, I will add 1 inch to it for joining the two waistband together. All right, so I will keep it aside. So after cutting out my waistband, this is what I have. It is 5 inches by length, and the wideness is what I cut around my skirt. I added extra 1 inch to it. So I'll go ahead now to sew the waistband together, right side facing right side. With the 1 inch allowance you added, you're going to join the both. All right, so the length of the elastic I'm using is 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to minus 4 inches from my actual waist measurement. My waist measurement is 32 inches. I will minus 4 inches from it, which will give me 28 inches. So I will use it to cut out my elastic. So after cutting it out, I will also put it together this way and sew it multiple times. All right, so after sewing the waistband, this is what I have. I iron out the seam, and also I sew the elastic multiple times. I will go ahead now to insert it inside like this, and I'll go ahead to stitch it all round. Okay, go ahead to stitch it all round, and I will bring it back. So guys, after I was done stitching it like I explained, I will go ahead now to stitch it around my skirt. So you will go ahead now to match the waistband to the men's skirt like this. So make sure that you are opening the waistband. Okay, it looks smaller because of the elastic inside. Make sure you are opening it up as you are sewing. So after sewing mine, this is what I have. I also went ahead to run extra 2 stitches on the elastic. Okay, I gave it another 2 stitches. All right, so this is what it looks like. Can you see how lovely it looks? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead to hem all the edges. All right, hem it, and I will show you the end result. So guys, this is the end result. I wore it to church. I paired it with a shirt, and this is what it looks like. It really turned out so beautiful. Can you see how lovely it is? So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to drop your comments, share this video to anyone you know it will be helpful to, and follow me on all platforms as Stitches by Uche. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.